It's almost March, baby!
The read-along!
You know you want to read me again and again and again.
Oh no, it's so soon. Are you dancing? Is that doesn't look good.
Yeah.
You should stop that.
How about this one?
Are you doing the worm? You're not even doing it right. It's more like, you gotta, it's...
Read me, read me, read me, read me, read me.
I guess it's time.
Read me.
So it's already going on to March. I don't know how that happened. I'm still getting used to it no longer being 2020. Wait a minute, what if 2020 was all just a fever dream? Anyway, let's talk about the books I'll be reading in March. I did make a 2021 TBR video if you want to know every book that I plan on reading this year. However, there's a few in this video that I didn't mention in that one. I'll make sure to leave links in the description for all the books mentioned in this video. First off, if you haven't seen the video, I'll be hosting an ultimate Kingkiller Chronicle Read-Along, where we'll be reading through The Name of the Wind all throughout the month. I'll be posting discussion posts over on the Discord server, which is where the whole read-along will be going down. And if you want to know more about the Kingkiller Chronicle, I have a spoiler-free video on why you should read it. Make sure to join the server, even if you're not planning on taking part in the read-along. It's usually a really peaceful community, unless you were there last Sunday.
When it spiraled into chaos.
When you guys decided to make a J-Day and change all your names and profile pictures to me in an attempted rebellion against my reign, well, guess what? It didn't work. It just made me age backwards into Babyface J for the day and question my entire existence. Joke's on you, better luck next time. There won't be a next time. Rebellion will not be tolerated. But yeah, so we'll be reading The Name of the Wind. The link will be in the description. Next, I'll be finishing a book that I already started, The Fantasy Fiction Formula by Deborah Chester. I've been working on my own writing recently, and this has been an incredibly helpful resource. I'd recommend it to anybody who's writing fantasy. Deborah Chester was one of Jim Butcher's professors, and he has a big introduction at the beginning of this book, basically telling you to listen to Deborah. So that's what I'm gonna do. Next, I plan on reading The Emperor's Soul, which is a novella by Brandon Sanderson and can be found in the Arcanum Unbounded. This novella follows Shay, who is a forger, someone who can flawlessly copy and recreate any item by rewriting its history, a skill that makes her an abomination to her captors. She's been condemned to death after trying to steal the Emperor's scepter, but is given one opportunity to be set free if she can forge a new soul for the Emperor, who's been left brain dead by an assassination attempt. This is a pretty short novella, so I'm guessing it's only gonna take a few hours to read, and I've heard that it's one of Sanderson's best. While I have read pretty much every Cosmere book, there still is a few novellas and short stories that I need to get to. If you're a fan of Sanderson's Cosmere, let me know in the comments what your favorite Cosmere story is. I also plan on finishing the audiobook Storyworthy by Matthew Dix, which I saw recommended by Ali Abdal in one of his videos, and I decided to give it a listen. It's basically all about how to become a better storyteller, whether it's in your day-to-day life or your business or whatever. And I've been doing the homework for life prompt that he gives you, which is basically where you just write a few sentences each day of what you did so that you can look back on it and bring that into conversations. I haven't been doing it every day, but I try to when I can. And this is something that I find pretty helpful because I've never been good at just like talking about my day. Usually I do things in the day and I just kind of forget about them and I don't bring them up in conversation. So I do feel like this has kind of been helping me remember just small things throughout the week that I probably never would have talked about if I hadn't written them down. I also want to get to All Systems Red by Martha Wells. This is the first novella in the Murderbot Diaries. It follows a security robot that's hacked into its own programming, allowing it to develop independence, and all it really wants is to be left alone long enough to figure out who it is. I've been recommended the Murderbot series a lot, and I'll definitely let you guys know my thoughts in a future video. Next, I want to read book 1 in the Elric saga by Michael Moorcock. Elric of Melniboné, the doomed albino anti-hero who's had a huge influence on fantasy as a whole, yet these books are hardly ever talked about anymore. You can see this character's influence when you look at characters like Geralt of Rivia, and Elric's sword, Stormbringer, was what influenced Brandon Sanderson to create Nightblood. Now, these books were written as an answer to many of the cliches that came from Conan and Lord of the Rings, and while it's not quite grimdark fantasy, it does have many grimdark elements, and it was definitely a foundational series for that subgenre. Unfortunately, it's very hard to find these books nowadays. I was lucky to have found a copy at a used bookstore, but I'll leave a link in the description if I find one. I did read a bit of the first book years and years and years ago, and then my uncle spoiled a lot for me about the Elric books, but it also got me interested in wanting to read a bunch of them, so that's what I'm gonna be doing. And then finally, I want to reread Volume 4 of Full Metal Alchemist. This is the beautiful Full Metal editions that are like super high quality. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is like one of my most favorite animes of all time, but I have never fully read all of the manga, so I want to do that. I've considered reviewing either the manga or the show on my channel. Let me know if that's something you'd like to see. There's been a lot of different types of videos that I want to make, but it seems like my channel does better when I just focus in on my niches, which is unfortunate because I hope that one day I'll be able to make whatever type of video that I want to make and not be punished by the YouTube algorithm. I have a long list of video ideas, and some of them are ones that I know I probably shouldn't make right now in case they flop, so I'm saving them for when my channel grows some more and I can make whatever video I feel like. So those are all the books that I plan on reading in March. Let me know what you'll be reading, and let me know if you want to see me make videos on any of these books. Make sure to like and subscribe and all of that, and this video wasn't sponsored, but I do want to quickly mention my Etsy shop. I have a bunch of new mugs and notebooks and clothing merch in there if you want to check it out, and I also got some merch on Teespring. I also would like to say a huge thank you to everyone who helped donate to my mom's fundraiser over the past year. That has helped her out so much. She's improved a lot from your guys' help. She's no longer bedridden, she still needs treatment and she's still healing, but she recently put up an update on the GoFundMe page, which I'll link down below. Any donation helps out so much with getting her health back to normal.